going to fix this, and we're going to reveal some secrets tonight, that's for sure. Give me a second. I'm trying to set up the phone. Got to keep it on charge. There we go. I'm still waiting on my actually, how do I want to do this? I'm going to bring this light stand back just a little bit. There we go. And we kind of put this over the shoulder. That's where we want it. Now, give me a second. I'm still setting up. I've got my lights set up. I've got my clay softened. And now I'm going to set up this thing. My other computer. There we are. Okay. So we got a lot going on tonight, guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So we got a lot going on tonight, guys. Oh shit. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Get rid of the feedback. All right. We got rid of the feedback. Okay. I had my speakers on. And there's a delay. And it can cause serious feedback if I don't shut that down. Let me bring this light out a little further. Away from what I'm doing. I also have to set up my, why didn't that, what the heck? What's going on? Come on. I'm setting up the tablet, guys. Give me a second. I guess it's still loading. Come on, man. So slow. Why? What is that? I don't know what the hell happened. Come on, what the hell? Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to figure out why this thing's not working. Yeah, restart the. I'm gonna have to restart this for some reason. It's not. These tablets, man. Give me an Apple any day. Nothing's working. What the hell? I can't read text if I can't get on YouTube Live. Bring this thing closer to me. What the hell's going on? Let's see, what the hell's the power button? Is this the power button? I think that's the power button. Okay. I was hitting the top button. All right, good. Maybe it'll reboot now and give me what I need. What a pain in the ass. I hate these Android things, man. They suck. Can't see any comments yet. And my computer's behind me. I'm working on this side because I don't want that resin to be, I want that resin completely cured for like 2 weeks. And then I'm going to put a hardener surface on it. Come on, what the hell? So I'll explain to you guys what's going on. This is the new clay copy that I just pulled out of my silicone master. And this is the 1-to-1 before I made the alterations to the nose that's done on this. This is the master copy. This is a copy of the master. But I altered this, and you can see the nose is way better now. Come on, fire up, Jesus. What takes so damn long? I feel like I'm in 1995. Booting up a computer. But anyway, yeah, I made several alterations. Here you'll see I have my little worms of clay, which I intend to make my eye cuts just a little smaller. Tablet is starting. Thank you. But I need to get to YouTube. My God, you see how long that took to fire that up? Now what? Does it work? I don't know where to go from here, man. It's not doing anything. There, finally. Done. What the hell, man? some fluid. I don't know where the hell, I don't know what's going on. I know the Wi-Fi is on. Bullshit. This is bullshit. I don't know. I need to get an apple. I did the cheap thing and quick step isn't. Close app. Why is it opening all this bullshit up? Damn it. I'm gonna bust the damn thing. That's where I'm at with this. I'm so damn fed up with it. Yeah, you can ask me that over and over and over again. Now what? I don't know what this is. Why is this doing this? Jesus Christ, it rebooted again. I'm about to give up on this thing. Got some work to do on this sucker tonight, and I can't get nothing done because I can't see your comments because I'm using my phone for the camera. Pain in the ass. And I'm not sitting on the opposite side of the room. Why did that reboot? I just want to use it for so I can see your text. Crazy ass buttons on here that I'm not aware of. No. Jesus. Here we go again. What is going on? I don't understand what the hell's going on here. I like my apple. It rebooted again. If it comes up, it comes up. I don't know what to do at this point. Here's what I'm going to start doing. Start doing some work. First thing I got to do is the nose. All right, so don't need that yet. Do need thing. I organized everything so I couldn't lose anything. But here I am looking for the damn tool that I can't find. Oh man, go figure. Wait a minute, did I keep it in a separate bucket? Can't be. It's got to be in here. Yeah, right. Kiss my ass. I'm just going to shut off again. I gotta look over there, see if that tool's over on the other side. Plus, I'll be able to look at your comments, since I can't see anything here. What a pain in the ass. Oh, shut up. So far, we got no comments. Okay. Don't look at anybody's on either. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell's going on here? It's got to be over there. It's got to be here. It's got to be here. It's got to be in that tray. There it is. Jesus. Oh, man. So, since nobody's on live yet, we need to add some kneaded clay to the tip of that nose. Almost. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, man, we're going to get some work done. Can't get my Android to work over here. Pissing me off. Gotta figure something out here. So the next thing I gotta do widen the nostril holes. We're getting there. Really starts to take shape once I start going into here. And that's a long ass nose. That's all right. We're gonna cut that back. I'm a big believer in putting on and taking away. And look at that beak. Not solving the problem with the nose. Just takes time. We are too long. Oh, I think I know what the hell the problem is. I added clay in there. Yes, I did, didn't I? Yes, I added a lot of clay right in here to bulk this out a little bit. That's what I did. This is not soft enough. I gotta melt the clay down. Oh, wait a minute, I got some underneath here. Seems like I'm doing a lot here, but I'm not. Never get that nose look right. It looks too long. I still got to do the scowl to bring the scowl out more too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak that in. Once I bring, that's right, I added more scowl, I added more depth to the more length to the nose out here, and it really made a difference. I'm trying to remember all the steps I took on this, man. I did a lot of work to that, more than you think. You'll see, it'll come together. See, that was the problem with this. This area here was too deep. I couldn't fix the nose because it looked like the nose was literally way too deep. Still too deep right over here. Now you gotta remember, I'm putting quite a bit on, but I'll be taking a lot off too. Each profile. Okay. So we got a lot to take off the tip here. We got a lot of taking off to do. But we don't want to lose. Still got a lot of work to do around the eyes too, man. It was still too long, and I still got work to do on the forehead. I got work to do on the forehead. I also have the life cast right next to me to really hone in on this. Mhm. Now I'm going to blend this eyebrow. This is, I just call this the shaping tool. It really shapes. It helps you shape everything. Then you smooth it out once you have it shaped. Yeah, we got some more work to do. Okay, let me do something because I got to do some more drastic work here. Because this is way too prominent, and I need a bigger scraping tool. Oh, I need a few days to get this right. Getting to understand the shape of this thing is the hardest part. Because once you figure it out, it's like riding a bike. You can't forget it. You don't forget it. You just hone in on it. That's all you do is you just hone in. You know what you're after now. You're not trying to overthink it as much as you, because you're not guessing on angles anymore, because now you've got it so close to where you're comfortable with what you have. And now you just have to make sure your depths are all right and everything looks right. Yeah, I have to add more cheek down here. I didn't add a lot. I added cheek down in this area too. Adding the scowl, it's actually on the life cast. Making that scowl really kind of really stand out, just like I did on the other one. But I also added more forehead. I'm going to show you what I did here. Oh, good. Still soft. Added more forehead here. This clay is real soft right now, so I'm trying to. And this will make a big difference with the hairline. There's a little bit of a divot I noticed in the screen use mask. Right in the middle here, there's like 2 bumps on each side of the forehead. I pretty much did that on the other side. We will get it right. This is not getting stoned until it is perfect. Let me see if I can get this thing to fire up again. Just heard a gunshot. Don't know where that came from, but there's a gunshot. Crazy world. We are living in crazy times. Yeah, this thing's not booting up. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, this is a very light, very thin casted mask. So can't put a ton of pressure on this head because I'm trying to get that soft stuff down there. And I'll shape the scowl and all the little details after I get the bulk of the scowl on here. Got quite a bit to do here. The more I see what I did to that, but it's going to look good when it's done. It is going to look amazing when it's done. more of an organic look to it too. That's another thing that has been a real problem. Didn't look organic enough. Move my glasses out of there so. I'm going to check the text in a few minutes because I can't. Yeah. This thing won't fire up. I don't know what the hell's going on. Restart. Reboot. Again. And again. And again. It did fall to the floor, so maybe something happened to it that I'm not aware of. See, I'm using this. This is what I'm using. I'm really using the scale off of this life cast. I want the scale right. And I'm almost there. The biggest thing is you have to get the head shape right. If you don't have that right, nothing else is going to fall in place. You know, I left the nose for a minute because I want to bring this in where it needs to be. So then the nose will look more proportioned to the face because the head back, this area here was way too far back. It's going to look good. That's going to look good. I got a divot here, but I'm going to make sure that forehead is not. The nostrils are last. crazy, man. Soft stuff underneath. I love cooking the stuff in the microwave because it cooks from the center out. So if I dig into the center, I have plenty of soft material sitting here. Okay, I have to look at this. Turn, baby, turn. Yeah, I put that clay all the way up. That's what I thought. Oh yeah. Remember, I'll be taking a lot of this off. So don't panic, guys. We gotta get that shape right. And remember, that's the master. I could screw this up and it wouldn't matter because I got the master. But I'm not going to screw this up. This is going to be a piece of art. And we're going to have ourselves a nice yeah, I got some work to do. Yeah. I don't need to add anything there. Do need to take more of this nose down. Even going to make the eye cuts a tad smaller too. Alright, so I need to push. Oh shit. Look at that. I punched a hole in the side of the nose. I gotta lift that up and shove stuff in there. See, I told you it's a very thin cast. It's not very thick, and that can happen. It actually happened in here, right alongside the nostril too. But I fixed it before we went on camera. This thing is very, very light. There's not much clay in this at all. See, all you have to do is just push it right into that hole. And then back to work. Punched it right through there. I just need to take this thing. Crazy how easy things really are. Once you start really learning how to do this, you really start learning how to really, I guess, do all the tricks of the trade. I don't know exactly. You start figuring things out and you go, oh, okay, I could do it this way. I can do it that way. So like I said, I'm taking a lot of this down now. You always want to have plenty on there. Plenty on there. You'll see what this is what I did to that over there. I did the exact same thing. First I cut the nostrils back with a heavier slant this way. Now I have to still put some more in here, but not until I'm ready to get into that nose a little better. Very bulky nose. What I need. Gotta remember to keep that bump on this side. almost down to the original nose now. You can see the old clay coming to the surface right here, which is okay because I did put lots of clay into the nose, inside, on the inside of the sculpture. Now it's all about balance. First thing I got to do is lift this thing up and look up the nose because I got to see the sides are even. Because when you take away a lot of that clay and you're coming down off of the nose like this, it's hard to tell if you took in too much on either side off. So you need to look up. Oops. And that looks pretty balanced. But we're ways off. We are ways off from getting this thing polished. All right, so remember, I still got to put a little clay back in here, but not nearly as much as what was there. I need to see. I need to see the side of the face. Sucks, I wish I had two turntables here. Wow, okay. So, well, it's got to be cut off here. Yeah, that's it right there. And I just gotta. See what it looks like on that side. Yeah, that's the right depth. Remember, this eyebrow has to come back out on top of this. All right, let me check the comments because I don't know how many people are on. I don't know if anybody's on, to tell you the truth. I checked the comments a little while ago and nobody was even on. Wow, Saturday night, I guess everybody's out and partying. Three watching. That means one other person because two watching now. Nobody's leaving comments though. That's okay. I get it. Let me try and move this over just a little bit. See where it's at. There's a delay and I'm looking at the other screen. Oh no, I have to go the other way. Man, there's that much of a delay. Holy mackerel. There we go. That's better. That's better. The other thing I'm going to be doing is making these eye cuts smaller. So there's that. Yeah, we got to do that too. So I need my one tool. It's a great shaper. I love this thing. Now what I'm doing here is I'm bringing it down again so I can see anything that I have to add or take away. I already know I'm going to have to add more clay right up in here. Pretty awesome. All right. Need some soft clay again. I don't know if I have any left. Oh yeah, there's some under there. Maybe since I got the soft clay here, let's try to round these out a little bit. Yep, that looks good. God, stay still. Too much. Okay, let's do some shaping now. Guess I'm not talking too much tonight because I know nobody's on. Sorry for not more chatty, but I'm concentrating on this and I'm really trying to get this thing perfect for the mold. This nose is more long and pointy than the other one. We want to get rid of that pointiness out of it. I'm not making a witch. Now we're getting somewhere. That's looking a lot better. Oh yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Trust the process, as they say. Now see what'll happen is, you see I'll get some low spots, and then I just fill in the low spots, and then I sculpt away again until you get it right. Yeah, even that profile's looking better. Better. Still got a lot to do. Still got a little ways to go. I got a couple days work here. Depends on how much time I plan on working on each time, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think I'm gonna work my ass off to get this done. Because I really want this thing perfect. I'm gonna take that little smile out of there too. I'm just gonna drop it down just a tiny bit. Now, as I bring this in a little bit better and better, I want to use my main tool that I always use. I always go to this guy right here because he seems like it really smooths out. And it doesn't overtake. In other words, it's not digging. It's just taking off the surface. That's my spooky clock, in case you're wondering. Spooky clock. Very old school. That's what we like. Old school. I got to put the frown marks back into the scowl up here across the forehead. Lighting's kind of messing with me here. And you notice I don't have any pictures in front of me. I know, everybody's like, oh, you should follow pictures. I don't need pictures. I got the goddamn life cast right here. And I know what he went for. I know what Christopher Nelson, he actually used a lot of the pictures of the life cast to do this. When in doubt, break out the shapers. Your little ball peen. Yeah, that gives it a lot more depth. Yeah, I'll keep doing the sculpture until it's perfect. I don't mean that. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say, because I'm concentrating so much, I'm looking at every little detail. I'm going to keep going live to show you how I'm doing this process throughout the whole thing. You know, puts that back where it belongs. Poke it out just a little bit more. That looks better. Now this one, it actually falls right short of the I only need to put it right there on that spot. I'm just bringing it up towards the scowl a little more, bringing it into the scowl. I'm not really. Not adding any length to it. That looks right. But now the nostril flare outs are not far enough out. And the only thing is I have to now you're seeing how I do the nostril flare outs and how them get and got them so accurate. See, I'm pushing into the nostrils and it's flaring them out perfectly. It's all technique, man. Man, you got to be careful. Oh no, I got plenty of. I want plenty of depth in that nose, nostril, because what happens is if you don't have enough depth in there, um, give me a second. I know my arm's in the way for what I'm doing, but I got to hold that head down. I'll smooth that out. Got to have a lot of depth in there for the nostrils because you don't want to see the holes in the nose. You don't want to see nostril holes. I still got to go deeper. I made sure, that's why I made sure there was plenty. I have to push this guy back in some too. Same with this guy. Actually. Man, it always comes down to technique, don't it? Okay, so underneath this nostril flare out, it's a little too, it's not far enough out. Nope. Oh yeah, now we're talking. I need something here that's gonna. It's crazy how once you figure something out, it's pretty much a wrap. You'll get it right every time, just about. Come on. Now I want to make sure these cheek lines are equal. The other thing I want to do is I want to start filling in the eye cuts a little bit. Now see, by having these little worms of clay that I used, um, worms of clay that I made from a tool that I have that makes it all the same exact size. Yeah, oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, that's been the problem. Eye cuts way too big. And what you do, what you do, what you do see how that works? I got a little touching up to do, but nothing that I'm too sweating. I'm not sweating over. That's definitely making a big difference. And this here, I take my little paddle bit. If I push too hard, I cause it to lose its shape. Now, now with this, I need the shaper. Because this gets a little bit of a bump out anyway, so that kind of worked out for the best for me. What the hell is going on? Gunshots going off again. I don't know what the hell's going on, but something really weird. And I can hear them off in the distance, too. What the hell is going on? I'm gonna find out where the hell that's coming from. What the hell is that? Oh shit, I thought it was gunshots. Oh, I don't care. As long as it's fireworks, I thought it was gunshots. I was like, holy shit, it sounded like gunshots. Because the way they were pulling, it sounded like somebody was pulling a trigger. Shoot, that's crazy, man. It was fireworks. Thank God. I'm sure you guys all heard that, right? There's nobody on. Yeah, I don't know. I think the eye cut's still just a little too small, but that's nothing to fix. Because I just follow the line. That's the smallest hole I have to make these noodles, or else I would have made it just a little bit smaller, the noodle itself. But I can cut it back. Yeah, I can make that eye cut just a little bit bigger. And you just follow the same line. Just bring it in ever so slightly. I wasn't that far off when I made my yeah, that's a little bit better. And down here. I knew I was going to have to do this. When I saw the eye cut, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit too. Yeah, that's a lot better. Oops, no you don't. Yeah, that's where it needs to be right there. That's the eye cut. Now we got to do the same thing on this side. Well, now that I know that I gotta take some off, I'm gonna push a little more on. So now I won't have to take as much off. Yeah, that's much better. And I still got to take some more off up top. Oh, first, no, hold on. Now just a little bit off. First I want to look at the straight one. Yeah, I have to take a little bit off, but not much. Too much. Yeah, that's a much, much better eye cut. Not too big. And now that I got these where I want them, I can focus on the smallest details, because that was the one change that I didn't do to that needs to be done, is the eye cuts. And I'll put them side by side when I'm done, just to show you how small of amount I did. Because it makes a difference. The other thing I got to do is I need to put I need a small loop tool. It's got to look like a fold. Not a, it's kind of hard to see in this light because you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Right, so I got to bring this up. That's the thing. Everything has to look like a fold, not a crease. That's not what I'm after. Oh, that's right. I was going to dig into the eye cuts and smooth out the. Where I made that mess. Yeah, Napsa will take care of most of that. I guess everybody's out tonight. Everybody's partying, having a good time. The fireworks next door. You know, nobody's online, which I don't care. You guys can watch this later. Okay, so we need to add a little bit of clay up there. Yeah, this stuff's getting all hard. Nah, it's hard now. I can't. I know what I'll use. I'll use one of these. Let's shape it first. Come on, get the hell out of there. What is that? Piece of shit in there? I don't know what the hell that is. I got add a little more just to flare out that nostril. In the back. We want both nostrils to be the same. Now there's starting to look a little something. Like something. There you go. looks a lot better. Now I can balance this out a lot better. Oh yeah, got it right now. We definitely want that depth right. A lot of work to this thing, man. Already. I'm just trying a little more smoothing out. It's crazy. Once you get it, you get it. Once you really figure it out, you really get it. You just can't, and you won't forget it. You won't forget how you did it because it's such a struggle to get it right. Like when you're looking at the side of that nostril, it looks right now. It looks right. It's the depth is right. Now remember, this is all going to be smoothed out, so. Oh my God, yeah, this looks right now. Starting to really come in now. There's going to be some spots I'm going to have to put just a little bit of clay in there, but I don't have any real soft clay anymore, so I got to kind of pinch off tiny pieces of it. And fill in these little tiny dents. Clay's hard now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the light on the nose a little bit more so I gotta get the lights close and over top of it to really see what's going on with the nose. Because I can't really see the top of the nose, this part here. I need to see that. I'm seeing this casted light. See the shadow here? And it's blinding out. You're not seeing the features there. So I really have to this is how you smooth out. So you smooth it down until you get, with you rake it, and then wherever there's little like divots and stuff, you just fill it in. And because this is real fresh clay that I just melted, it sticks really well. The older the clay is, the worse it sticks. It really doesn't stick well when it's real old, the clay, that is. Now there's one other feature that I want to fix real quick. I don't want to go too crazy because I have this drop down a little bit. But we're going to go down just a little bit more, make sure there's nothing on my clay here. Just in that corner. Let me see if I went down far enough. Almost, a little more. That's perfect. That is perfect. That is perfect. You want this side dropping down just a little bit more than the other side. And that looks good. And I think I'm going to stop for tonight because I'm getting very hungry and we are really honing in on this bad boy now. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. It's definitely looking good. A lot of cleaning up to do, but if you can take a look of just that tiny little bit of tiny clay, a little bit of clay coming out of the eye cuts, how drastic that changed the look that fast. It looks more proportioned now correctly. And I'll get these cheeks perfect on the next video. When I go start going live, I'm going to make sure everything's really good. I have to put the frown, the scowl mark, crest, what do you want to call them? The scowl creases right here back in. That's not that big of a deal. The nose depth is right now. Yeah, that's on the money. That's where we want it. But we want to make sure oh yeah. It's going to be a nice mask. It really is. So we don't want to look like that. That was when I had that a little higher. It looked like it just had a little bit of a smirk. And we don't want that, like a little bit of a smile, you know, right in here, a little smirk right in here. And it needed to drop down just a touch, just a little bit. And it made that tiny little fraction of a changes the whole look of the sculpture. It really does. Now it looks featureless. He's not frowning, he's not smiling, he's not smirking, he's nothing. There's no features to that. And your natural fall on your lip line, it does drop down on both sides into the corners of your mouth, but there's absolutely no emotion to this face. And that is the most difficult thing to pull off, is the emotionless, should I say. Yeah, that's what makes it very difficult to do this sculpture. It really does. A lot of people don't understand it until they get their hands into it. They start doing something like this. Trying to get that emotionless look is very difficult. And, you know, mine, like I had tendencies with my Night Creeper when I was doing the Night Creeper, of making it look more evil. Had a very difficult time with that, trying to make it look like, you know, I think what I was trying to do is that I always had that poster art of the 2000 or the 20 Halloween Part 4 poster art. That always looked like it had a little bit of evilness to it. And I always liked that feature. But I think I'm digging this. I really am. I think I'm digging the way it's just emotionless. It's just no emotion to the face at all. Yeah, man. I'm excited to get this finished. It's going to be a nice sculpt. Yeah, man, we're close. We're getting closer already. We're getting closer. We're not close. We're not there yet. But we will be there shortly. Not going to take too much more. I don't have to mess with like any of the lips or any of that stuff. I don't have to do that. I have to sharpen the edges. I know Pipe Master will watch this video and he'll be like, you gotta fix them. You gotta sharpen the edges of the lips. I will. I will. I'll make sure that they're sharp. So. I want to tackle the heart. The stuff right now that I'm working on is extreme detail of getting the shape correct. I have to make sure that the shape is on point. I mean that literally. The shape. And you gotta have the shapes, all the shapes exact. You know, before you can move on to the other things of the sculpture. I'm gonna have to take a closer look on this because this might be sticking out just a little bit too far right in here. I could sculpt that back a little, just a touch. We'll see. Actually, when I put the frown, the wrinkle in there, that should give me what I'm after. Oh yeah. So what do you guys think? Are we getting there or are we getting there? Yeah, I have to put the lights in a different position to see this nose a lot better. What I do want to do is take a look at it, looking upward. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not too bad, but I got things to do to this nose that still have to be smoothed out, big time. Just working on that nose tip a little bit. Trying to bring that into what it's supposed to be. this head is so shallow. It's or so thin. Damn, that actually looks good. Holy shit. I think I've really got this thing now. I got a lot of work to do on the nostrils yet. I got the nose tip right. That nose tip actually looks better than that one. But we'll see. We got more work to do on this, and we'll see where we're at. But I'm getting really tired, and I'm ready to go watch a movie. Maybe I'll watch Halloween. Yeah, I might do that. I might do that. Yeah, once I bring that scalp, the head back into shape, it's going to be really nice. This is going to be a nice mask. Oh yeah, baby. Getting it done. All right, I know what that's doing. quite sure what time that just struck. I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't counting the clock. Wasn't counting the chimes. Something about those old clocks that just makes it so cool. All right, time's up for tonight. But it's starting to really look good. It is. Now I'll hone in and make that nose look a lot better tomorrow once I change the lighting. I mean, the nose is close. It's close, but it's not there yet. Gotta love it. Definitely liking this sculpture a lot more. Now I have to do the fine details. Trust me, there's a lot of fine details that have to be done to this. But we're getting there. A couple more days and I'll have this thing ready for stone and then for sale. Let me see if anybody joined me, because I gotta have some Gatorade. I gotta go eat some dinner, especially on this new diet. I don't think anybody came on. Oh yeah, William, Justin, looking good, John. Yeah, it's starting to look like something, ain't it? Oh man. Yeah, I had to fix that nose. That nose is really a stickler. Hold on, let me balance out the picture because I have the it looks like that one side of the nose is really bigger than the other, and it's really not. I don't know if that's straight on or not. Straight on? No, it's not. A little better. Yeah, I'm going to get that nose to look exactly like the other one over there on the right side. That is the master copy. Only I'm going to shrink the eye cuts down just like I did to this one. Just a fraction. I had to make the eye cuts just a little bit smaller. And this should be a perfect sculpture. Now the light is really glaring on this thing, so you're not really seeing this, William. Like the corners of the eye cuts on the outside of like where the ears are, the corner of the eye cut, you don't see that little, you know, I guess wrinkle that goes into the eye. can't see it because of the light. The light, it's there, but it's very subtle, and I have to make sure that I get get everything perfect. And I think I got these lips nailed. I just have to sharpen the edges of the lips so you can see them better. But you put the sculpt side by side. Well, I mean, this is a copy. All right, so what you're seeing on the right-hand side of the screen is the retooled 1-to-1 that came out of the silicone. Just like this clay copy, if you've seen this video from the very start, you would have seen what the original 1-to-1 looked like before I made these alterations. The nose especially, the nose has to be right on the money. The nose, the nostril flares have to be right. Everything has to be right. I can already see on the left nostril what I have to do to bring it into what it looks like on the other sculpture. So, oh man, yeah, you're the only one that joined the chat, William, tonight. I think everybody's out partying and having a good time. Saturday night's not a good night to obviously stream. But you know what? This will be uploaded and people can watch it. Yeah, it's just not a good night to stream. There's 3 watching, but and I'm 2 of those people. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm only one of those persons. So guess what? There's two other people on here, but they're not. Somebody isn't chatting. They might be watching from work or something. You don't know, and they can't really join the chat. Sometimes that happens too, where they can't really join the chat and they're just checking it out. But we are getting close, you know, closer by the day, you know. And as you can see the changes that I made on this new sculpture, how close I have gotten it just tonight to the sculpture on the right. Look how much closer I am to that now than when it was. Yeah, I still got some work to do though. Yeah, man. I mean, the changes had to happen, you know, because the sculpture. I want this. Bo Norton, what's happening? It is Bo Norton right now because it looks like you got another tag name, Bo. So this is the clay copy of the 1-to-1 that I just altered tonight. If you watch this video from the start, you can see all the changes that were made. And I'm not done yet, man. I still got a little ways to go. I want that nose to look exactly like the one that's over there on the right, because that nose is perfect. So I got a little bit more work to do to the nostril flare outs for sure. The nostrils have to be fixed a little bit better. Let me try to turn that thing just a little bit more towards the camera because it's still not quite, yeah, it's still not quite there. Right there. Yeah, that looks a lot better looking at the camera. But I can still see the left nostril. Both nostrils have to be done a little bit better. A little bit better. I fixed the left corner of the mouth. That had to come down just a touch to take that frown out of it. But we're getting there. I added more forehead and more scowl. Starting to look like something. But I'm going to jump off of here, guys, because I am really getting tired and I'm starving. I haven't eaten. And this guy's going to, I think this guy's going to sell. I think this one's a winner. I really do. I think this sculpture's turning out perfect. This is going to be a keeper. For sure. Now there's 4 people on. What the heck's going on? Everybody's coming on. I've been on here for like 2 hours. All right, William, you too. I gotta bounce because I had gastric bypass surgery, so I'm supposed to eat a lot more frequently than I did today because I've been doing so much work in my studio. I'll give you guys a quick look around here. Hold on. Let's zoom out of this. So this is my new display shelf. I got my mask over top. Now these masks, they're all being worked on. These 2 are gonna go on eBay. That's the 1-to-1. Hold on, let me just, they're the 1-to-1. I did the countertop. That's all resin now. Those 2 on the end. Oh, you've been on for 2 hours? Man, you just didn't text. Well, you know what? I couldn't get my tablet to work, so I couldn't read the text anyway. So it kind of was pointless to text me because I was so involved with, you know, sculpting. I didn't want to get up and down constantly reading my computer that's behind me. So I put some old newspaper clippings of when I was a kid. You really can't see it, but on the bottom of the page there I am right there. Back in 1979, we had a ton of snow. We had like 40 inches of snow, and it all melted within 3 days. In order for me to get to the mailbox, let me see if we can get closer to the picture. In order for me to get to the mailbox, let me try to, I literally had to break out my little rowboat. There I am right there. Can you see that? There I am on a boat. Nights in Venice is what it says. Hold on, I'll zoom in. There I am on this little rowboat. The skinny me, man. I was probably, let me see, how old was I? That was 79. Hold on, I had to think about that. 79, I think I was 16. Wait a minute. Let me think. 78, I was 16. I was 17 there. I was 17 years old. And I had to get the mail. That's why I was, my parents, they couldn't have, the water literally right there where I was floating across was about knee deep, maybe even a little deeper than that. And it was like freezing cold temperatures, and our mail was being delivered. We had 40 inches of snow in a blizzard in 1979 in February, and 3 days later, we got 6 inches of rain on top of it. And within a week, the entire 40 inches of snow was completely gone. Plus, we had all that rain on top of it. 6 inches. All right, let me explain. 1 inch of rain is equal to 10 inches of snow. And we had 6 inches of rain. I'm not joking. It was 6 inches of rain right on top of the storm. right after that blizzard, and it melted everything. Gone. It took 2 days. It rained for 2 solid days, 3 days after that blizzard hit, and then man, the temperatures were in the 50s, close to 60 degrees. So everything melted so fast. So we got flooded out. Our basements were almost our basement here on that in that house was literally waist deep in water. Thank God we didn't have a lot of junk down there, so it wasn't too bad. We didn't have to, move anything, or nothing was down there that was valuable. But it was waist deep in the basement, and I had to row out to the mailbox to get the mail every time the mail dropped off. And apparently, one of the Gazette Leader or whatever, yeah, the Gazette Leader, it was a Wildwood local paper, saw me rolling out to the curb, and then stopped and basically, I guess, had a chuckle over it. And I remember him asking me, he said, "What are you doing, man?" I said, I got to get to the mailbox." He started laughing, the photographer. And then the guy interviewed me when I got to the curb a little bit. But he basically said, "Knights of Venice." I can't remember either. I can't see what the text says underneath. Let me see what it says underneath the text. Let me see what the text says. The text. It says, "Motorists who drove by this scene last week on Route 9 in Mayville might have thought they were watching a gondola being pushed through the waterways." It's real faded. You can barely see it. Waterways of Venice. Yeah, okay. What they really saw, however, was simply, oh, okay, I was 16. 16-year-old John Hickman paddling about in an enormous puddle next to his house. And then it goes on to say something else, but it's faded. So anyway, yeah, it was an interesting winter. We had a hell of a snowstorm. So I'll show you the other side of everything I'm doing. These are the these two on the end. These two right here are going to go on eBay. They're the 1-to-1 24.5-inch mask. All right, so what else have I done? Check out the studio. Look at all the gore. Look at all the fun. They're my brother's masks up there. I'm holding on to them for him too. So he's in a rehab center. Hopefully he does come out of it okay. So let me see. I've got eyeballs on the wall up here. Talk about gory, man. Eyeballs on the wall. My monster eyes in custom corpses are lit up. They're glowing. You can't really tell on camera. I sculpted that guy right there, that skull. And let me see. That's a night creeper right there, by the way. It's one of my. And I got those lips pretty good too. No emotion. Even the eye cuts look good. Evil. Night creeper, baby. Night creeper. That's my brother's mask. I've got this guy over here in the corner. He's got tattoo right next to him. And anyway, I've organized all this stuff. Yeah, and I've got all kinds of. I like this little thing here that nobody really sees it, but it's because it's not really well lit. But check out the monkey. Tell me what movie that was from. Tell me. Can you guess? That is a freaky toy. I think it still works. it has to be wound up, I think. But it's freaky. My Walking Dead collection. I've got my zombie head right next to there, and still got to glue the hands back onto the pumpkin as though that zombie is holding the pumpkin. That's what it's meant to look like anyway. I gored up my. Yes, I know. I got a photograph here of Dick Warlock he signed for us. I have another one out in my living room, but I'll show you this one that he signed for us. Ah, damn it, come on, man. It doesn't want to roll forward. Why? Dick Warlock, come on. That's Dick Warlock there. It's reflective. Hold on. Let's do it this way. There you go. Signed autograph picture that we got. We met Dick Warlock. I have a better one that's out there in the living room. Really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna start putting all this display. I cleaned up everything, man. This countertops are all clean. I mean, getting a lot of shit done. I even cleaned up over in this corner over here. I got everything finished up over there. Everything that's over there has to be there though, because I have to have that stuff in the house. I don't want it out in the shed. I even cleaned off this table here. I'm probably going to make that gory paint job on this table, just like I did to this here. Thanks, William. But this is, this is what I want to do. In retirement, my plan is to sculpt and make masks. I've got all kinds of scarecrow ideas that I want to do. I want to do scarecrow masks. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do. And we're going to do it right here in this studio. For as long as I'm alive, however many years I have left, I'm going to make masks. And I want to get into scarecrows. I'm also going to be making a Michael Myers house. Probably a 12-inch scale, like 12-inch in size, 12 inches wide, 12 and 15 inches high, whatever it is. I can't remember all the measurements, but I think it's 12 inches wide. It's going to be a house. And I'll tell you what I'm doing with those houses when I'm done. And it's not going to be the only one that I do. I'm going to do the Amityville Horror. I'm going to do Salem's Lot house. I'm going to do Michael Myers, of course. That's going to be the first one. What else am I going to do? Amityville Horror. Did I say that already? Yeah, Amityville Horror. I think I might even do the Munsters house, Herman Munster, and the Addams Family house, if I can get good pictures of it. But I'm going to do these houses, creepy houses. And if you guys can come up with any ideas on other houses that would be really cool to do. I don't want to do castles or anything too massive. I'm trying to keep everything to a scale of about a foot and a half at the most. So doing those, I've got all the different masks that I'm going to do. Once this guy's finished, flashback, then I'm going to start aging him and turning him into a 2018 mask. And then I'm going to age it again once that's done. Bo. Yeah, oh yeah, well, I do. Horror icons. Well, I mean, a lot of people are doing Frankenstein, the Wolfman, werewolves and that stuff. I don't know that I want to. First of all, I wouldn't mind I'm going to do a Jason. I'm not doing a Freddy. A Freddy is not a mask. That's why. A Freddy is more, if you're going to get a Freddy mask, get a silicone mask because it's supposed to be his flesh. And it just doesn't look good as a, unless I do a bust. I don't mind doing a bust of Freddy, but I won't do a mask because it's not supposed to be a mask. Um, I'm thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, and Jason, of course. I think with Jason, the one I'm going to do is part 7. I like that version of Jason the best. Part 7, hands down, for me. I don't know about the movie. I can't remember. I'm not a big Jason follower. You know, I might watch that tonight. To ask me which one's uh, the best movie out of the entire franchise, I couldn't tell you. Um, I need to marathon them. I need to like do one after another, after another, after another. But I tried to do that in the hospital, but they kept bothering me every 10 minutes. I was, somebody coming in while I was recuperating. I was in there for a week, recuperating from the surgery. I'm now 2 months and like 3 days out since my surgery, and I lost, God, probably like 50 pounds from 2 weeks before the surgery to now. So we're looking at month 4, about 6 weeks. I've lost 50 pounds. Remember, for 1 month, from the 14th of May until, it was literally one solid month from the 14th of May, how many days, how far that went. I was on a pure liquid diet. I was not allowed to eat any foods. Hold on, I'll read your comment. I don't know. Part 1 and 2. Part 1 and 2. Wasn't that just a sack over the face? To me, that's. I don't want to sculpt that. That's not. That's you just get a sack and cut an eye hole out, and you're good. Unless you're just joking around. If you're joking, I get it. But oh my God, I'm so sore, and I still haven't eaten yet. Of course, I keep pushing it off and pushing it off. Yeah, now see, I'm too close to the sculpture right now, so it makes it look a little more distorted. Yeah, I got some work to do, that's for sure. That nostril flare out's not quite right. The nose profile looks pretty good. Yes, J Thor, it's definitely the retool, and this is the newer, the since I'm what? Wait a minute. A Jersey guy? Nah, you know what? You got to remember, I saw Michael Myers. I saw this movie with my cousins. It left a lasting impression on me. As a matter of fact, that screenshot that I showed you. Um, so that was 1978. If I was 16 years old, that's what I told the guy. That was 1978. So we had the blizzard in '78. Anyway, so basically, that was the year that I saw the Michael Myers, and I was with my 2 cousins, and they sat on each side of me. And when I left the theater, my arms were bleeding because they were digging into me with their nails, scared to death. They had their knees up into their faces. They wouldn't look at the damn screen. They barely saw the movie. But man, the jump scenes, Halloween. I mean, if you look at that movie now and you're going, not that big of a deal. But back then, it was great. It was a good movie. And in the theater, some of those scenes were loud. They really, the startle got you. Because the music was so loud in the theater. And it had them on their edge the entire time. They knees, both girls. And then as soon as something happened, man, or and their hands right on my arms. And like an idiot, I sat between them. I should have never done that. I should have sat on the end away from them. But they weren't going to let me do that anyway. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so 78, man, it was a good year for me. Had a lot of fun. I love snow, even now, as bad as it hurts me when I get those bad snowstorms with my hips being bad. I still love snow, man. I wish I lived further north. I mean, we'll get a bad storm once in a while. Hold on, what is this? Jay Thor, no problem, buddy. Yeah, Bo, I do. I mean, my son lives up in Connecticut, and he's only 2 hours away from where Jaws was shot. He's also not that far away from, right across the bay. He's right there where the Amityville Horror House is. Um, well, I mean, I'm going to do a Jason, but I am going to do, if I do a Jason, it's going to be part 7. I think he looked his best in part 7. And I do believe that was Kane Hodder that did that one. Yeah, Kane Hodder did part 7. But more I think about it, some people may not like the thought of this, but I really liked Jason X. I thought that was fun. I didn't like the one where he went to Manhattan, other than a few scenes that were pretty funny. But the one, I don't know which one that one was, but I know Jason X, the one where he was in space. I don't know what it was about that one, but I liked it. I liked it because it was just different, and that time traveling thing, and it just put a little sci-fi into it. Oh, well, see, I didn't know that. Part 7, Kane Hodder, man, he was the shit. He was really good at that. He was the best one they ever had. Kane Hodder. I met him at a convention center, I think it was Monster Mania in Cherry Hill. He was there. I don't know, it was several years ago. It was probably like 6 years ago. But in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, uh, they do it at this big hotel there. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but yeah, I mean, he just brought a realism to the character. He really did. He just gave it that. It's kind of like um, my 3 favorite actors to play Michael Myers was Nick Castle. Um, and Nick Castle really didn't play Michael Myers. He just threw a mask on and walked around and did whatever Dick Warlock, whatever John Carpenter told him to do. He didn't really, and he even says it himself. He just didn't really play Michael Myers in any way outside of it. He just took a lot of direction from John Carpenter. And John Carpenter said it in plenty of interviews where he said, I just liked the way Nick Castle walked. He was very graceful on his feet. Um, so that's why he used Nick. Plus, they were friends. So, but when it comes to the characters, people that actually played Michael Myers, Dick Warlock and James Jude Courtney, my God, man. I think he's my favorite one that really nailed. Um, he just really, he just had an edge about him that just, if you really watch his actions and the way he did it, I think James Jude Courtney nailed Michael Myers in every way. He did. Um, how much direction that was? Nah, not Tyler, man. I don't even like that. I don't even like Bo. I'm not a fan of that series at all. I didn't. I didn't like what the hell was his name? Rob Zombie. I didn't like his movie. I don't like Michael Myers being explained. I was frowning on that movie from the get go. As soon as they tried to, try to do a backstory of when he was a kid and what he used to do to animals and all that sick, demented shit, I just didn't like it. I thought it was too much explanation, and you know, no, no. I like Tyler Mane, as an actor, and but I just didn't. I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the movie at all. Too. I can't find the right. I want to say demented. It had like a demented feel about the movie, more like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or what was that one that he did with the clown guy? Um, House of a Thousand Corpses, or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember which one it was that he did. The clowns, but they were demented movies. And I'm not a real big fan of demented movies. That's why I never really cared for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just thought it was sick-minded shit. And but there's a market for it. It's just not my kind of horror. My kind of horror is suspense. I like suspense. Not saying that there wasn't suspense in those movies, but it's tarnished for me. It's tarnished for me when you go too demented. I just, disturbing, demented, same thing. JJC. Oh, yeah, he was. He was absolutely hands down. I just think he really understood. I don't know how, he really dove into the character of who Michael Myers was. A perfect example of the one kill that he did that really stood out, James Jude Courtney, is when he stabbed that light bulb or fluorescent light bulb into that black woman's throat. It was just crash, look at her, boom, stick. There was no there was no hesitation, there was no rhyme or reason, and then just to watch her die. The way he just watched her die. Now, some people might say that's demented. Yeah, it is kind of demented. It's a little twisted, but you've already understood what Michael Myers was. Um, but he also has a touch of, and this is why I like Jason too, supernatural. There's something supernatural about Michael Myers. I don't care how you spell it. I don't care how many times John Carpenter says that, well, he was just a human. No, I'm sorry, you don't get shot 6 times. You don't. I mean, God knows how many times in the remakes, not really remakes, but redo of the 2018 on up. He got stabbed, shot. Come on, pitchforked. You know, no. There's an element of supernatural with Michael Myers, and Jason or Freddy. Freddy, I'm not a big fan of. I liked the very first movie because it really, when you saw that in the theater, and you never seen the movie before. That was friggin' weird, man. It was creepy. It was really creepy. Him coming to you and being able to get to you in your dreams was a really cool, inventive. Yeah, well, I mean, it was, but it also, like I said, Rob Zombie, it just seems like even the dialogue in the movie, F this, F that, it just was uh, over the top, just vulgarness. And I mean, I got a foul mouth too, but I mean, it kind of just bothers you when you're sitting there watching entertainment, and I don't know, there's just something about it. There's just something about his movies I don't like. Too grungy, too, I don't know, man. I just don't know what the hell it is. I haven't really put my finger on it. Um, I just don't like his concept of it. And John Carpenter didn't like his version at all. At all. Him and Rob Zombie definitely don't see eye to eye when it comes to that. And with I understand it completely too. Um, so keep that in mind if you're a big fan of Rob Zombies, because John Carpenter can't stand him. Um, he hated what he did to the movie. Fixed on the retool. Yeah, I'm fixed on the retool right now. I got my Michael over here behind my gored up walls over here. Got some gory shit going on over here on this wall. I finally got some fingers that I'm actually going to mold them first and I'm going to make them, I'm going to show you these fingers real quick. I got these fingers. I forget what store I went to and got them. I thought, man, they look pretty realistic. I can do something with these. I remember, so the paint job isn't too great. But I can do stuff with that. Even the texture of the skin on there, gored up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clay form these, and I'm going to make a 2-part mold for latex. So I'll make latex fingers, and I'm going to put them on the wall. This way I have a mold of the fingers, and it gives me all 5. It gives me the thumb and the other 4 fingers, including the pinky. So, yeah, man. I forget where I got them. I think it was Michael's. I think I got them at Michael's. Yeah, it was Michael's. I stopped there the other day. I got my new glasses. I wonder if I can flip the camera around now. Yeah, there you go, guys. Look how skinny I'm getting. What am I going to do? I'm definitely losing a ton of weight, guys. Look at my hat is sliding around. My hat doesn't fit like it did. Oh yeah, man. And now you can see everything behind me too. Pretty cool. And I got my new shades. I finally got my shades. My new lenses for my glasses. Oh my God, I'm so sore. There you go. How do you like them, guys? Are they working for you? Yeah, I like the darker frames now. I like the darker shades. Definitely. I'm losing. Cool background. Uh, uh. Jesus, man. I on camera, I even look skinnier on the face, man. I can't believe how much weight I've lost in my face. It's friggin' nuts. I lost a lot of weight up top. I still got that pouch around my stomach. Not so much the stomach, but below the stomach, down below my, down by the groin. That area still sucks. I got to get that. That's going to come off. Because I'm getting hip surgery, they're going to insist that they remove that. So I'm probably going to have to get all this flesh cut off of me when this is all done, when I lose all this weight. But I signed up for it. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get this life changed. I can't stand being in pain. It's not so much the pain that bothers me, it's not being able to do things. That sucks. That really sucks, man. When you can't do things, no way to live. So I'm going to grow out my goatee again, a little bit, definitely longer. I want to go about that long. I got to go get my more dye. I got to get the dye because I want to whiten all my mustache out, whiten that out, and I'm going to whiten this region. So I have the black streak here, and that's it. Got to do the Wolfman Jack look. I had that years ago. I had it about 2 summers ago, 2 years ago. I forget when I did it. I did it in the summertime. No, it was winter time when I wasn't doing too much YouTube. But I grew it out for like a month, and then I couldn't stand the length. The length bothered me all the time, so I shaved it off. Whatever. Anyway, but I used to dye it. I used to dye it right in here, so all this was white. And when you got a good tan, which I don't have this year because every time I got in the sun, I got dizzy as hell because surgery really kicked my ass. I don't know what surgery does to you, but man, for a good solid month, I couldn't get in the sunlight. I was every time I went in the sun, it would make me dizzy as hell. So, what else you guys got? Anything? Cool background. Oh, well, okay. On the retool, I had to redo the nose and the nostrils. I also bumped the scale out just a little further. I fixed the left corner. All right, wait a minute. I'll do it on my face. All right, let's do it this way. Take the glasses off because you can't see what I'm doing. I bumped out the scale here. All right. I filled in this area a little bit more, and then in here. I tore out behind the nostrils deeper, so we get a good crevice down in here. So you got to have those lines. In the corner of this mouth, I dropped it down just a touch, right in the corner on this side. This one already is steep. We know that. What else did I do? The nostrils, the nose shape, I did that. I have the bump on this side. I still have, this shape's pretty good here. But I'm working on the nostrils and the nostril holes. And I had to put a little bit more clay on here because the nose was too far up in the air like this. So we dropped the nose down. So it looks good. And now that I've distorted my face in so many ways trying to explain what I did to the sculpture, yeah. And it looks 1,000 times better and more accurate. It definitely does. And it's not even done yet. This is the clay. I just filled my 1-to-1 silicone master copy mold that I had done when I did like couple months, 3 months ago. And I poured up another clay head. My master is sitting on the right-hand side over here, and I'm going to silicone that when I get it completed. That's still got a little bit of work to do to that, just a touch, and it's more up in the forehead area. But that's going to get siliconed. This one's getting stoned. I'm gonna stone this. That's why I poured up this clay head, because I don't want to wait around, and I don't have the money for silicone right now. So I'm hoping that, with some sales here, I'll be able to do it. I'll be able to get the siliconed master copy, and then I'll be able to, afford to do a little bit more. This surgery has literally, I wasn't allowed to lift up until the 28th. What was that, 3 days ago? Up until the 28th of this month, I wasn't allowed to lift over 10 pounds. That was it. I keep looking over here. There's the camera. Sorry. I wasn't allowed to lift over 10 pounds. And for 2 solid months after surgery. So that really hampered me on what I was doing. But I defied the doctor a little bit. I defied the doctor because I went in here and I started working in my studio. Started doing all kinds of stuff on the studio, and as you can see, all the work that I put into the studio. Yeah, I did a ton of work in here. It's cool looking. I like it. And the most important part is now there's not clutter. There's not all this shit everywhere in the studio. That was driving me crazy. I could not stand the clutter in here. I managed to get rid of a lot of stuff. I also managed to store a lot of things. Everything has a space. Everything has a spot now. So as soon as I'm done working with it, it goes right back to where it's supposed to be. I don't leave stuff all over the countertop. I'm a neat freak by nature. You wouldn't know that. Trust me, you wouldn't know that. But when you don't have room to put anything, when you're running out of room for everything, and all that shelving back there. Remember all the tools that were up there, man. If you look at the videos months ago, even, man, you couldn't even move in here. I was like, what the hell, And the way I had my shelves over here. So what I did was I outside of my garage studio, outside of my patio, I put these big racks up, and they're on wheels, and I bought all these bins, and I basically was able to take most of everything that was out here, in here, that didn't have chemicals. I didn't take chemicals out there. I didn't take any of the silicone or the latex or anything like that outside. All the tools, all that stuff's out there. Small tools, not the power tools, but the small tools. They're out there. I don't have to worry about, I got most of everything. I got all the clutter out of here. That's what I did. So I did a lot of work, because I would have gone nuts. I would have. There's no way I'm going to sit on the couch and just watch TV. I can't do it. During the day, it's funny. I'll get up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Varies, depending on what time I go to bed. Like tonight's going to be a late night, so I'll probably get up around 8 in the morning tomorrow. But I'll get up, and man, my wife will come home from work, and she'll be like, "Oh, come on, lay out here, watch movies with me, or watch TV with me." I said, "I can't. I watch TV all night long, and then, not all night long, but probably like 2 hours, fall asleep, get up. I can't watch TV during the day, man. I just can't do it. I tried so hard, but I'm like, no, I got to do something." So, "Oh, you're not supposed to do too much. You're not supposed to do too much after this surgery." Second week being home, I was in here working in the studio. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. You're not going to teach an old dog new tricks. You're never going to keep me down. I'm just, I'm looking at the picture here. I'm looking at my face. I look healthier. I do, man. I'm no longer diabetic. Uh, I'm not real lethargic. I've been up since I think 7 o'clock this morning, and I feel great, man. I have lots of energy. Now I've been getting a lot of phlegm in my throat. Now I don't know whether I'm going to talk to the doctor about that. You know, my speaking is like, it's just really struggling. I don't know what it is. It's not laryngitis. I don't have that, but I do have some phlegm, and it's caught right there, right where the vocal cords are. I got to find out what the hell that is. But yeah, see that? It's like, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I've got some work to do, and I'm bouncing all over the place because I got too much energy. I'm supposed to. I got to eat. I got to eat yet. I still haven't eaten my dinner, and but I eat perfect, guys. Perfect. No sugar in my diet at all. See, that's what I'm talking about. No sugar in my diet. 3 meals a day. About 12 ounces total per serving. 12 ounces, everything combined, only weighs 12 ounces. So my vegetable, my meat, and my carbohydrate is my vegetable. My meat is my protein, and I don't eat red meat. It's chicken, fish, or turkey. That's it. I've been doing chicken salad for 2 solid months. I've got some salmon I'm going to cook up tomorrow night. Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, so uh, chicken, fish, turkey, pretty much. And then what's the other third ingredient? Jesus. Mostly protein. Mostly protein. Vegetable. I can have a starch too, by the way. I can have a starch, but it's like I'll have a little macaroni salad, but it's like literally, yeah, total of 12 ounces. Each thing that I eat that's on my plate, the three things that are on my plate, they only weigh 4 ounces each. 4 ounces. That's it. And even that's a struggle to eat because if I eat too quick, I get this, oh man, gas like you wouldn't believe. Like it's a bubble that feels like it tortures you, man. Everybody says, oh, you'll throw up. No, you'll get regurgitation. You don't throw up. Your stomach's not big. So you don't get this acid, like, and then just, you get this little regurgitation is all you get. And I never get nausea. So even if I overdo it and I get this little regurgitation, a little bit will come up, but it's not, you don't get nausea. You don't get that. I think that's never going to come back. Nauseousness is never going to come back. Knock on wood. I don't know, but I don't think nausea comes back with this surgery. But this surgery cured a lot with me, fixed me, totally changed my life. And I can't wait to see where I'm at by late fall. Can you imagine? What's it going to be like at the end of October? I still got to go through August and September. What am I going to look like in October? I'm probably going to look like flesh drooping off of me like crazy. I'm going to have to wear some baggy clothes still. But at some point I'll be getting my surgery to get all that removed. And yeah, I'm looking forward to my future. I've never felt better. All right, guys. Peace. Good night. See you on the next video. Bye.